If you are looking to make a move in Calgary and you're wondering what the top communities are in the city right now, well, we have that for you, because today we are looking at what are the fastest moving communities in Calgary for spring 2022. And stick around and watch this video, because right after this, I've got another video for you that talks about the 7 newest and hottest communities in the city for 2022. The 5 hottest and fastest communities in the city is what we're talking about today. And how did we come up with this number? Well, on our website, we have continually been tracking the months of inventory for communities in the city. And basically, we took that list, we looked at the top 5, and hint, hint, it's actually 6 because we got a 2-way tie for the 5th place. But we took those numbers, looked at the months of inventory, how long is it taking to sell the current product in that community, and we've got the fastest moving ones here for you right now. So let's jump in. Number 5 is a 2-way tie between Lakeview and Hawkwood. Lakeview is in the southwest part of Calgary. The average price is about $777,000. They've got about 5,400 people that live there. And what's interesting is they have 16% of people, little people, they have 16% of little people there. So we pull that number because there's a lot of families transitioning around the city and looking for areas that have other communities that have a lot of families. So this does have, it's a little bit less than what the city percentage is of 19, but they've got 16% of their population is under the age of 14. Now what's interesting here is 72% of homes in Lakeview are all detached. So it's a large majority of this community has detached homes. And Hawkwood, which is our second place tie for number 5, and they're both at 0.36 months of inventory, is in the northwest part of Calgary. Its average price is $595. And for Hawkwood's population, they have 9,845 people. 15% of their population is under the age of 14, and they have 91% of homes are detached. So Hawkwood has a very, very high percentage of detached homes inside of their community. And what's interesting about Hawkwood and Lakeview is that they are both an area that is fairly well established, and so there's not as much transitions. So if you watch the video we put out last week that was talking about interest rates and everything going on in our city and how we have a supply problem, these communities are part of those problems, because you have a lot of older individuals living in these areas and they haven't moved and haven't sold their homes. And so a lot of people are living in their homes longer instead of transitioning into different types of properties and selling when their family has left and maybe a spouse passes, and a lot of, that's kind of what's happening in these areas. And so it's really interesting, and it's causing a little bit of a problem for young families who want to move into the areas, which is also a supply demand pushing up price. So that is part of what's happening in Lakeview and Hawkwood. All right, now number 4 is New Brighton. New Brighton is in the southeast part of Calgary. Their average price is about $484,000. They have 12,295 people that live there, and they've got a large demographic, or percentage, I should say, of under 14 years old. They have 27%. Again, the city is 19. If you want to find out where the kids are, the kids are, in newer areas. New Brighton is not new, but it's definitely, has some probably late 90s and mainly around 2000 built homes and newer. So if you're looking for a lot of family-oriented communities, this is the type of community that you want to look at to find families. So 79% of the homes in their community are detached. All right. Now, number 3 is Deer Ridge. So Deer Ridge is actually in kind of the middle south part of the city, close to Fish Creek Park, and their average price is $385,000. They have a population of 4,100 people. 20% are under the age of 14 for their population, and they only have 57% of the homes there are actually detached. What's interesting about Deer Ridge and this specific community is they have a large percentage of townhomes and row houses. So the city typically is 10% across the city. 10% of the styles of homes across Calgary are townhouses or row houses, and Deer Ridge specifically has 33% So 3 times the amount of townhomes in that community than across the city. So that's interesting to know. So if you're looking for townhouses, a little bit more affordable prices, it's definitely under that 500,000 with an area with kids, well, Deer Ridge could be your magic ticket. All right, number 2 is Strathcona Park. So Strathcona Park is an established area on the west side of the city, considered in the southwest part of Calgary. Its average price is $715,000. They've got just under 7,000 people that live there. They have 19% of their population is under the age of 14, which is in line with the city. Their median household income, this is a little bit interesting compared to the other communities, is $145,000 or $144,000, where the city's median household income was $97,000. This is all pulled from the city census, the last one that happened. And 80% of that community is all detached homes, and there are actually no apartments in this neighborhood. So some interesting things, and Strathcona Park right now has a 0.28 months worth of inventory. And our number 1, can you guess it? I don't know if you can, but either way, it's McEwen Glen. I was surprised. McEwen Glen is in the north part of the city, close to Nose Hill. It actually, some of it is tucked right into Nose Hill, and we have friends that bought in Nose Hill, and they basically jump on their bikes in their backyard and away they go for hours. So the north part of the city, average price there is about $495,000. They have just over 5,000 people living there, and 17% are under the age of 14. So again, it's a little bit less than the city, and again, it's also a more established area. So you could have a lot of households that have kids that are older or kids that have left home, and those parents are still living in those homes. 85% of the homes here are detached, and they also have 0 apartments. They do have a bunch of townhouses and such in there as well, but no apartments in this area. So these are your top 5. All right, top 5: McEwen Glen, Strathcona Park, Deer Ridge, New Brighton, Hawkwood, and Lakeview. Top 5.5. 6, let's call it 5.5. So that's your top numbers there. And so what's interesting is, what are the slowest communities? I'm going to show you this. So the slowest neighborhoods in Calgary, right now we pulled this, and it's May 2022. The slowest moving community in the city is Scarborough. It's 8.25 months of inventory. Their average price is $1.1 million. You're going to see a thread, a little woven thread here with all of these price points of these areas. So take that with what it is. Pump Hill is number 2 at 7.5 months of inventory with $1.4 million average price. Upper Mount Royal, a beautiful area, 4.5 months of inventory, and they've got a $2.1 million average price. Britannia, 4.5 months of inventory with $1.5 million average price. And Eau Claire is at 4.4 months of inventory with an average price of $650,000. Now, Eau Claire is going to be a lot more condos and like older like inner city townhouses, because it's right kind of tucked into downtown there, which you can see in these clips. So those are your slowest moving communities. And so it's really interesting when you look at all this data and what's happening, because the video that I want you to watch next is all about these brand new communities. So go over there, check out this video, and you are going to enjoy learning about the 7 hottest new communities in Calgary for 2022. We'll see you guys on the next video.